nightmares in my head. I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
While the world is busy shedding tears for Gaza, rightfully, and expressing solidarity, there is also a lot more happening in the world that deserves equal and immediate attention. I'm talking about the war in Congo in particular. The conflict in Congo is not a new one. It has been going on since 1996 as an aftermath after the Rwandan Genocide in 1994. Understanding the Congo War needs delving into the complicated history of both the Congolese and the Rwandan sides. Here is my attempt to bring you a summary of what has happened in the past in Congo and what is happening there right now. The wars in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, including the first Congo War that happened between 1996 to 97, and the Second Congo War, which happened between 1998 to 2003, were directly linked to the 1994 Rwandan Genocide. The genocide set off a chain of events, caused millions of deaths, destabilized the Great Lakes region, and led to the conflicts in the eastern DRC even till today, with Rwanda still playing a key role in the conflicts. The Rwandan Genocide happened over 100 days, from April to July 1994, during which an estimated 800,000 to 1 million people, mostly ethnic Tutsis and moderate Hutus, were brutally murdered by the Hutu extremists. The genocide was organized by the Hutu-led government in Rwanda, with the militias carrying out mass killings, rapes, and torture. The Rwandan genocide did not happen in isolation. It was a result of decades of ethnic tensions, political struggles, and colonial influence. Here are the key events that led up to the genocide. The first period, colonial rule and ethnic divisions from 1884 to 1962. Rwanda was first colonized by Germany and then by Belgium. The Belgians enforced strict ethnic divisions by introducing identity cards in 1933, officially distinguishing Hutus, Tutsis, and Twa. Hutus constituted the largest chunk of the population. 85% were Hutus. Only 14% were Tutsis. The Belgians saw Tutsis as superior and granted them better education and government positions, which led to resentment among the Hutus, because Hutus were the larger chunk of the population, but they had practically no representation either in positions of power in governance or in education. The second period witnessed the Rwandan Revolution and the Hutu takeover. This happened between 1959 to 1962. In 1959, rising Hutu nationalism led to massacres of Tutsis, forcing thousands of Tutsis to flee to the neighboring countries. In 1962, Rwanda gained independence from Belgium, and the Hutu leader Kayibanda became the president, making the start of the Hutu rule. The period 3 between 1960 to 1990 witnessed anti-Tutsi violence and the birth of the Rwandan Patriotic Front (RPF). Between 1960 to 1970, successive Hutu governments continued discriminating against the Tutsis. In 1987, the exiled Tutsis, mainly in Uganda, formed the Rwandan Patriotic Front (RPF), led by Paul Kagame, aiming to reclaim their homeland, Rwanda. The period 4 between 1990 to 1993 witnessed the Rwandan Civil War. In 1990, the RPF launched a military offensive from Uganda, sparking a civil war with the Hutu-led Rwandan government. The Hutu extremists, fearing the loss of power, began spreading anti-Tutsi propaganda, referring to Tutsis as cockroaches. In 1993, a peace accord was signed between the RPF and the Rwandan government, but the Hutu extremists opposed it. The period 5 in 1994 is the period of the Rwandan Genocide. It witnessed the assassination of the Rwandan president Habyarimana, which triggered the genocide. On 6th of April 1994, President Habyarimana's plane was shot down, killing him. Hutu extremists used this as an excuse to launch the genocide between April to July in 1994. Within hours, mass killings began, leading to one of the worst genocides in the modern history. Systematic killings were carried out by Hutu extremists who used machetes, clubs, and firearms. By July 1994, the RPF, led by Paul Kagame, seized control of Rwanda and ended the genocide. As an aftermath, over 2 million Hutus fled Rwanda to neighboring countries, fearing the retaliation from the RPF. Rwanda faced economic collapse and trauma, leading to reconciliation efforts and genocide trials. The Rwandan Genocide between April to July 1994 remains one of the darkest chapters in modern history, driven by ethnic hatred, colonial legacy, and political instability. It resulted in catastrophic human, social, and economic damage. The impact was devastating and is felt even today. Death toll. An estimated 800,000 to 1 million people were brutally murdered, mostly ethnic Tutsis and moderate Hutus. Mass executions. Victims were killed often by neighbors, friends, and even by own family members. Rape and sexual violence. An estimated 250,000 to 500,000 women were raped, often as a deliberate attempt to spread HIV/AIDS. Many children were born from these rapes. Orphans and widows. Around 100,000 to 400,000 children were orphaned, and thousands of women were left widowed. Destroyed communities. Families and neighborhoods were torn apart, with survivors often living near the perpetrators. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Many survivors suffer from severe trauma, depression, and anxiety due to the violence they witnessed. Revenge killings and refugee crisis. Over 2 million Hutus fled to Congo, Tanzania, and Burundi, fearing the RPF retaliation. Agriculture and infrastructure collapse. Farmlands were abandoned, leading to food shortages. Schools, hospitals, roads, and businesses were destroyed. Economic collapse. Rwandan economy shrank by 50%, worsening the poverty and instability. The judicial system was overwhelmed. Over 120,000 suspects were imprisoned for genocide crimes. The new government by the RPF, led by Paul Kagame, took power in July 1994, ending the genocide and leading Rwanda's rebuilding and reconciliation efforts. And finally, Rwanda banned ethnic classifications to promote unity. Now, how did the Rwandan genocide lead to the Congo Wars? After the RPF defeated the Hutu-led government in Rwanda and ended the genocide in 1994, about 2 million Hutus fled Rwanda fearing retaliation from RPF. Many settled in the eastern camps of Zaire, which is now the Democratic Republic of Congo. Among these refugees were also the Hutu extremists, who regrouped in the camps and launched attacks on Rwanda, attempting to regain power. So the first Congo War happened between 1996 to 1997. Rwanda, led by Paul Kagame, and Uganda supported the Congolese rebel leader Laurent Kabila to overthrow Zaire's dictator Mobutu Seko. The main reason was to eliminate Hutu militias in eastern Zaire, who were using the country as a base for cross-border attacks on Rwanda. The war resulted in overthrowing of Mobutu in 1997, and Kabila became the president, renaming the country to Democratic Republic of Congo. The second Congo War happened between 1998 to 2003. Once in power, Laurent Kabila turned against Rwanda and Uganda, expelling Rwandan troops and aligning with Hutu militias and regional powers. Laurent Kabila turned against Rwanda and Uganda for many reasons. The first being growing tensions over foreign influence. Kabila was installed as a president with the support of Rwanda and Uganda after the First Congo War. However, after taking power, he resented the continued control of Rwanda and Uganda over government and military. He saw their influences as neo-colonialism, making him appear as a puppet leader. After Kabila became the president, the Rwandan and Ugandan troops still remained in Congo, supposedly to ensure security. In July 1998, Kabila suddenly ordered all Rwandan and Ugandan forces to leave, fearing they were undermining his rule. This move angered Rwanda and Uganda, leading them to back a new rebellion against Kabila. Therefore, Kabila sought new allies to counter Rwanda and Uganda. He began supporting the Hutu militias that fled Rwanda after the Rwandan Genocide in 1994. Kabila also formed alliances with Angola, Zimbabwe, and Namibia, who feared Rwandan and Ugandan expansionism. Therefore, the Second Congo War began in 1998 and continued till 2003. In August 1998, Rwanda and Uganda backed new rebel groups, RCD and MLC, to overthrow Kabila, which triggered the Second Congo War. This Second Congo War is also known as Africa's World War, as it involved 9 African countries. The pro-Kabila alliance supporting the Congolese government constituted of the Democratic Republic of Congo itself, Angola, Chad, Zimbabwe, Namibia, and Sudan. The anti-Kabila alliance involved Rwanda, Uganda, and Burundi. It resulted in the deadliest conflict ever since World War II, with an estimated 5.4 million deaths, mostly due to starvation, diseases, and massacre. The war officially ended in 2003. Even after the official end of the war, the eastern DRC still remains unstable. The Democratic Forces of Liberation of Rwanda, the FDLR, composed of Hutu extremists, continues to operate in the eastern DRC, while Rwanda has been accused of supporting the M23 rebels, which opposes the Congolese government. Foreign countries exploited and continue to exploit DRC's rich mineral resources, and various militia fight over gold, coltan, diamonds, and other precious minerals. The eastern DRC is experiencing intensified conflict, primarily due to the resurgence of the M23 rebels, which has seized the key cities such as Goma and is advancing towards Bukavu. The M23 rebels, reportedly backed by Rwanda, a claim that Rwanda denies, has been accused of forcibly displacing over 110,000 people by closing settlement camps, exacerbating humanitarian crisis. The conflict has led to widespread violence, including mass killings and sexual assaults, and has disrupted essential services, resulting in outbreak of diseases such as cholera. The situation is further complicated by regional tensions, with fears of a broader war involving neighboring countries. International efforts to mediate so far has been unsuccessful, and the suspension of the US foreign aid has significantly impacted humanitarian operations in that region. While the situation remains uncertain, we hope for a miracle to save Congo. Thanks for staying with me. I'll come back with my next video. Till then, bye bye.